I'm here with Bridget Regan and Stephen Kane from The Last Ship. First of all, I'm a huge fan since Legend of the Seeker.
Oh, no way!
Yes. So you've played Kaylin, you went on to Dottie for Agent Carter, and now Sasha. Are you attracted to roles that have the action side to them as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm just also attracted to characters that have feminine and masculine characteristics. I find that really appealing, and
Sure.
especially in the case with Sasha, she's really navigating in a man's world and does it well. And it's an interesting time for the Navy. They've recently allowed women in combat, and now women can become SEALs if they can go through the training. And I love playing a character that can hang with these really, really tough men. Yeah.
And Stephen, the show is very grounded, very realistic. You can see the scenario playing out the way it has. Has it been challenging to create new difficulties for the crew moving forward? They had to find the cure, and then it's another new problem every new season.
Well, it's always a challenge to come up with great stories for your cast and crew and ship to go through. And also the ship being so powerful, it's hard to find good, powerful enemies that are realistic without being over the top.
Sure.
But the world is so chaotic in this scenario we've created that there's a lot of problems that keep arising. That there's no end to the amount of problems they can face. The question is choosing the right ones and making them as dramatic as possible.
And it seems like a lot of the characters on the show have multiple levels to them. Everyone has so much depth. How do you create that much depth with such a wide cast of characters?
Well, it's funny. It's not so much the number of cast, which is a challenge. It's also just the situations they're in, because they are in these high-intensity, high-incident situations where they don't have time to stop and say, this is my thinking, this is my backstory. They have to just act and behave. So you have to learn about them through the choices they make and the actions they do, as opposed to them just telling you. So that becomes the challenge. Is how do you get the backstory on Sasha without, between her and Chandler, just the looks sometimes they give each other tells you their history, as opposed to remember the time when I was your teacher and you were my student. That's buried, know.
Yeah.
So that's
Speaking of which, do you create a personal backstory to help you create those looks and fill in those voids?
I do, yeah. It helps me a lot, and also, this show, it's so high intensity and so full of. There's one challenge after another, and so we don't really have time to stop and think about how we feel, and that's not what the show is. It's either keep moving forward and don't hesitate, or you or your friend could end up in a body bag. That's the stakes of this show. So, but those moments, you do want them to be full and rich. And I've been piecing together throughout the season. I kept learning more and more about Sasha each episode, whether it be a skill that she can do, or a language she speaks, or an exchange with Tom, whatever it might be. It helps me fill in more and more and get to know her better, and fall in love with her more and more.
It's a great partnership too, because we created a character who has these language skills, and then Bridget says, I was wondering, maybe was I raised on bases with my parents in the military in Asia where I learned these languages, and so that's a great idea. So it's a feedback loop where they bring as much to the characters as we do, and then they live it, which is great for us.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to learning more about Sasha and seeing where the show goes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right.
We're going to do some crazy stuff right now. Blah, 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 blah. That's yeah.
You don't even need me here, do you?
No, it's all right. Just go away. So I'm playing Killer Croc in this thing, right?